Hello to my 11 subscribers. Today I'm going to recite a few of my own poems that have been published in a few anthologies. First one is called Home is a Strange Place. I wrote this when I was very young and I edited it while I was submitting it to the anthology. Home is a strange place. I've been to places now. Home has holes in places of windows and there are no doors to run out. Home has kinks in its holes and spiders in the doorless halls. There are no clothes, but there's an old uncomfortable bed that remembers the shape of my spine, and the bed sheets have run their hands across my back and sides. Home is a feeling deep in the pits of my gut of something being incredibly wrong, of something lost, of a life that doesn't know how to live, of something lost that isn't even mine. Home is a place where I fly within a cage. Home gives me poems, shitty poems, still poems. Home takes away all of my excuses for pain and hangs them on its immovable walls and puts it on shelves that don't make any sounds. Home wouldn't dare to let me lie about my mistakes. Home puts them on the noisy tables within an arm's length from each chair. Home doesn't have a clue about the big hole I dug outside in the backyard. I hide all my stuff there. When home sucks the air out of my lungs, I dig out the stored corpses out from the hole and hug them tight and sleep with them under the stars and go back to the world that doesn't seem very home-like from the cracked windows. But each time I come back through the doorless home because the poems are always worth it, even the shitty ones. Second poem is called Mother's Feet. My mother's two bare feet. You wouldn't want to ideally look at them because shiny, soft, beautiful, and elegant they are not. They're neither dull, hard, or ugly, somewhere in between. If you trace your fingers on my mother's soles, you could almost see the decades passing with no choices whatsoever. You could almost decipher the weight of the world that her feet carry. One roll, two rolls, three rolls, all assigned to her like a good actress. You could see constellations at her feet if you had the privilege to see my mother's salwar tucked up at the waist. Healed ulcers with tibia ends in the malleolus, different from the rest of the skin, standing out like a sun in the darkness of the cosmos. Proof of places my mother has been. You wouldn't find any dirt on them, for she washes them each night to sleep well. You wouldn't like my mother for her first impressions, or her dressing style, her charm, or communication skills, as these impeccable traits are only a facade. For she will let you believe the best of a story without blinking. You would like her for going into the day and on with it as if she wasn't waiting for death to swallow her whole, as if she casually won't mention the most discombobulating, gut-wrenchingly sad story while cooking 3 dishes at the same time. This one is called This Moment. How much does the present hold? How much of it can I swallow before I am overwhelmed from the sheer feel of it? This precise moment, someone is hearing songs in their lover's rhythmic breathing. This precise moment, someone will look at someone beyond what they've always looked at. This precise moment, some birds will find a mate, some will give birth, some will shoo off into the distance. Some cross the horizon as the moon shifts and they change places like clothes. This precise moment I'm sitting here, tugging at the cord that passes through time and space into the endlessly empty universe. And I don't know the road, I don't know the cord, and I know nothing. And I also sit at the thresholds. All the thresholds that keep me covered and secured, all the thresholds that are afraid of me being this awake or naked. I'm just noticing these thresholds for the first of times, and I notice I'm not leaving them. And I notice they've been holding me back. The cord and me seem to be made of one thread. And thresholds make it sound like a lullaby, or a dream, or a song, or a poem, or a story that could never really be uttered into words, only heard in the throat. No eyes, no ears, no skin, no bones. What is this cord? I seem so near. To me, to this cord. Someone is plucking at this cord. I don't hear it, and I fear it might not be for me. This precise moment, a silent gift from the centuries beyond time, a reprise, an ode to the gift herein. I am being eternally washed with life itself. As it flows within me and ebbs within me, I can feel the flickers delayed. This is not for the logical or the philosophical. This is for the hungry ones. For that love is boundless, shapeless, and enormous. That love knows only how to give joy. The chord rhymes with my words sometimes. It sings with my eyes some days. I cannot know, and yet I know. I know not precisely though. I do not know now, for the thresholds keep me at bay. The thresholds keep me entangled. I do not know their meaning yet. The chords, though, are meaningless, formless. The human context is majorly tilted to meet needs, vain, arrogant needs for meaning and logic. Transcendent would transpire, and they will keep raking their heads for meaning. As chords flung across borders, I feel that unknown cry out of my chest, the feeling of not knowing, not realizing, that breathless moment with no tears in my eyes. What should have been the very first knowledge I acquired? But my tears rest under my closed lids, but for I am afraid of the laughing lips. I have done this before. The chord has always shown me more, but as always, I ignore.